by the leader of the Scottish Labour Party, Jim Murphy. Very good morning to you, Mr Murphy. And I also heard from Mr Salmond this morning, I'm sure you know it as well, that SNP membership has hit 100,000, making it not just the biggest party by membership in Scotland, but one of the biggest in the UK. It seems to be an unstoppable tide.
Well, Mr Salmond this morning said that the SNP could hold the balance of power. All they really do is give power back to David Cameron, because the biggest party gets to form the government after the election, and the SNP only stand in this part of the UK here in Scotland, and the fact is that only Labour or Tories can be the biggest party, and any vote for the SNP reduces the size of the Labour Party in the House of Commons, and then you end up with a Tory government again by accident in Scotland. Something
else that needs to change for would-be SNP voters who used to vote for Labour, in that presumably they're also listening to the SNP's anti-austerity message. Now, you're part of a larger party, and it's a party that still has an austerity programme.
Well, we'll have to balance the books. Everyone watching at home knows they have to balance the books in their own personal finances, and you have to do the same when it comes to a nation's finance as well. And we'll expose that each and every day between now and polling day, because the biggest party gets to form the government in the House of Commons.
So what's your calculation about when that revival in the Labour vote in Scotland will occur? Because as we've discussed, no sign of it yet. 6 and a bit weeks to go. You're still confident it will happen?
I'm determined and I'm confident it will happen. I said when I became leader in December that the polls will take a lot of work to turn around. I think it'll turn around big and they'll turn around late, just in advance of the election. I think the Scots want rid of David Cameron out of Downing Street. And as they begin to focus more on the election and focus on the choice at the election, this won't be about last year's referendum. It'll be about this year's decision about who gets to run the United Kingdom. And we have to make the argument, cut through all the froth from the SNP, that the biggest party gets to form the government. But look, we're behind in the polls. We've got a lot of work to do. I know that, because the biggest party gets to form the government. And it's either, well, so the gentleman shouts liar. When's the last time that didn't happen, sir? All right, so I'm not a liar then. Okay. I might be right, but you might think I'm wrong, but I'm not a liar.
Let's go back to the original question. Are there any of these parties that you could do a deal with?
I have no idea. Well, sorry, it's not personal. It's not personal. I have no idea what these folks will stand for in their election manifestos.
They've been telling you tonight. They've all been listening. Could you do a deal with either of them?
Look, let's deal with that and the issue of deals after the election. I'm determined to win the election. That's what I'm aiming to achieve. Confident we still can.
Nicola Sturgeon, would you do a deal with any of them?
I will come on to that, but let me just take on a couple of points that have been made. And this one that Jim's just made there about it would only be the largest party that could try to form a government. See, the day after the last general election, and if you remember that, the Tories were the largest party. Gordon Brown had just been defeated in the election. A young and up-and-coming politician by the name of Jim Murphy said something quite interesting on that day after the election.
I was 42. I was neither young nor up-and-coming.
I was being kind to you. He said that Gordon Brown had, and I think I'm quoting you roughly rightly, a constitutional and moral right to try to form a government. So if it was right then, why wouldn't it be? Anyway,